These are 5 things I use to improve my mental health. Nothing's perfect, so some of these things took some time while other things worked instantly. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dareus. I wanted to speak on mental health improvement. I know I've had my own fair share of struggles and figuring out how to navigate life when your mental doesn't feel all the way well, right? These things can be universal, but everybody's different. So I hope that y'all walk away with at least one thing amongst these 5 things to help improve your mental wellness and that you can implement in your daily lives. The overall goal is to put you in a better state of mind and so that you can live your life in a healthy and enjoyable way, because I know life isn't easy. The world isn't easy to deal with. For some people, it may be worse. I just want to share with you some of the things that I've learned along the way, some of the things that I've learned from other people, or some of the things I've come up with myself that have helped me grow mentally. All right, number 1, and these aren't really in any particular order, but I really think this one is really important. Number 1, stop checking your phone as soon as you wake up in the morning. And by that, I mean stop checking social media as soon as you get up. Stop checking Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat if you still use it, your text messages, your phone calls. You don't want to start your day off with other people's thoughts, moods, words, energy. You want to start the day off with you. You want to wake up and feel you first. You want to wake up and allow your body and your mind to realign, your spirit and your body to realign, because you've been asleep. You haven't been in your body. So get back in your body and then begin to take on the day. You don't want your first thoughts to be who said this on Twitter, the latest breaking news around the world about how many people got hurt or whatever. The first energy you absorb of the day, you want it to be you. You want to check in with yourself. You want to get your mind right before you don't want the first energy of the day to be you absorbing something off of the internet, you absorbing somebody else's thoughts via a tweet or a post on Instagram, right? You don't want to absorb everybody else's information or anybody's information before you absorb your own information of what's right in front of you. Where are you? How are you feeling? You know what I'm saying? What do you have to, what does today feel like? You shouldn't allow yourself to be bombarded with notifications and emails and text messages and calls. Like, yeah, I know that something important could have happened while you were asleep, but I think that it's really important to wake up and, like I said, recenter before you hop into the text messages you missed, the phone calls you missed, because your phone's gonna be right there. At least give yourself 5, 10, 15 minutes to be with yourself and realign your mind and your thoughts right before you jump into your day and your thoughts and your energy being influenced by outside sources, right? You want to wake up with your own thoughts first. Realign your body and your mind and breathe. You know what I'm saying? Feel you and breathe before you dive into anything else. This will also help you stop checking social media so often throughout the day as well. Once you break that habit, it'll stop you from having the habit of like social media being your go-to thing throughout the day when you're bored, so you immediately check social media, or you're standing in line at a restaurant, you immediately check social media, or you find yourself stopping your productivity to check your phone, and then before you know it, you're an hour in scrolling on TikTok and or Instagram, right? I found that breaking the habit of waking up in the morning and immediately checking social media has stopped me from the desire to even check social media at all throughout the day. I don't mean like completely stop. Like I might want to hop on Instagram to see what's going on, or Twitter every once in a while, but it's not as common. I don't do it as often throughout the day as I used to when I was waking up and immediately checking social media, because I started my day with social media. So that kind of set the tone for the day. Like I started it with social media, so now it's kind of like my brain wants to know what's going on social media a lot more often throughout the day. It set the tone for the day. Like some of my friends, we might get on the phone and they might be like, yo, did you see what happened with such and such today? And I'm like, no, I actually didn't. And it would kind of shock me, because I'm like, wow, I didn't. I haven't been on social media or haven't tapped in with the world for real since yesterday. Like, and it's 5, 6 o'clock p.m. Once you break that habit, once you get into the zone of not running to social media to fill up every moment, every kind of like boring or silent moment of your life, you're running to your phone. Once you break that habit, you almost forget the shit is there sometimes. Number 2, like I said, these are in no specific order. Stop beating yourself up about your life. Nobody has it all the way figured out. Everybody's sort of winging it. I don't even know if I want to say winging it, because life doesn't even have a set structure, so to speak. So it's kind of like we're all doing our best and just doing kind of what we want to do, or I feel like we should kind of do what we want to do and do it how we want to do it. with respect to what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we all generally know right from wrong. Now, there are some things and some topics you could argue, like, well, some might say this is right and some might say it's wrong. But I think that we all know what hurting others is. We all know what making somebody feel bad or hurting somebody's feelings or physically hurting somebody or making somebody's life just not good. We know what not good is, and we know what good is. As long as we're all doing good and trying our best to do good and not intentionally hurting or harming anybody, then I feel like we should be able to do whatever we should live life however we want, and we should make life our life. We should make our life our lives. Like I said, nobody has it all the way figured out. Everybody is sort of winging it in a way. Even if you can take your most organized and structured and maybe even religious person who feels like they know everything about life or everything figured out and they know where they're going, a lot of the stuff they do, I bet they probably even tell you themselves they're winging it. Loosen up a little bit. Don't be so hard on yourself, because life doesn't necessarily have a set structure. Not as much as you think it has. Life isn't as set in stone and as structured as you may think it is, due to the systems and the things we have in place in society. But even our societal systems, especially in America, I mean, everything, it was man-made. These society standards and systems and what's tolerable and what's not, what's acceptable and what's not, was mostly man-made. Your life can be man-made, right? You can create the life you want. So don't be so hard on yourself when you feel like you're not living up to a certain standard, or you're not doing this the way that everybody else is doing it, or the way society says you. I just think that you should reevaluate with that in mind. Everybody's kind of winging it, right? If you don't have your own car by the age of 24, 25, so what? You don't even have to have it. If you don't want a car, don't get one. If you don't mind Ubering, if you don't mind taking public transportation, if you don't mind riding a bike, that's fine. Nobody, don't feel bad for not desiring a car. I know people that are my age and older who don't even know how to drive and have no desire to learn how to drive. Personally, I think that everybody should learn how to drive, but that's me personally, right? You may feel like you don't need to learn how to drive. You don't care to own a car. That's what Uber is for. That's what a bike is for. That's what public transportation is for. Some people feel no need to learn how to drive, and that's fine. You don't have to do that just because society does that. Say you do want a vehicle and you're 24 or 25 and you feel like at this age you should have one. Don't be so hard on yourself. Not everybody was dealt the same hand in life. Not everybody has had the same experience as you. So you may be comparing yourself to the next man over, like, he's 25, he's 22, he's 20, and he has a car and it's all paid for, and he has this nice apartment and this nice house, and or she has this and she has that. Okay, that's them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they started off saving long before you did, regardless of age, right? Or maybe their parents bought it all for them. Maybe they had a head start because of their parents, or maybe it was just their time to get that. Maybe things just aligned for them in that moment for them to get that. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you, or that doesn't mean you're a bad person, or you're slacking or falling behind, or a failure of some sort because you're not there yet, right? As long as you're still breathing, as long as you're still waking up in the morning, you have time to get there. Because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's life is different. Everybody was dealt a different hand in life. Everybody has different desires out of life. You know what I'm saying? Like you may feel like you're 25 and you don't have a car, you don't have whatever it is that you feel like you should have right now at this age, but you have goals of being like this media mogul or this entrepreneur that is like this multi-million billionaire, you know what I'm saying? And your goals are really huge. The guy to your right, he might have a Mercedes-Benz in his dream car at the age of 23, but that might be it for him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was able to achieve that because that's all he was focused on. Maybe that's his dream in life. Maybe his only goal, maybe his cap, his ceiling is have a nice condo, have a nice Mercedes-Benz in the garage, and that's all I want out of life. And as long as I can go out and drink and watch TV shows, my life's great. This is where I want it to be. Some people, that's their goal in life, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people, that's how they want to live, and maybe that's their ceiling. But maybe your ceiling's a little bit higher or way higher. You get what I'm saying? So, they reached their peak, or their desired peak, but maybe yours is higher. So I say all of that to say, don't be so hard on yourself, because you have a journey ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? There's really no destination. So I know a lot of times, the times that I've been hard on myself, they've come out of me putting pressure on myself to reach a certain destination. But I have to remind myself, there is no destination. Destination equals death. You know what I'm saying? Destination equals death. If you reach the destination, you've died. That's the only destination we need to acknowledge. The destination on the other side of this earthly life, right? Because as long as I'm alive and I'm breathing and I'm striving to reach my dreams and goals and serve a purpose, once I knock out one goal or dream, I come up with more. Now, okay, I got another one. I'm not going to like, say I got 10 goals and dreams that I have to do in life, and say I reach all of those within the next year or two. What do I do with my life then? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to create more goals along the way that's going to add to that list, and my list is going to be a never-ending list of goals. My goals and my dreams are never ending. They're going to continue and continue and continue to grow. Once you reach your destination on a train or something, that's when you stop. You've stopped, and now you're where you were trying to get to. If you stop in life, you die. The only time I plan on stopping in life is when it's time to get to them pearly gates, which is years and years and years and a very, very, very long time from now, right? We got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And don't let the pressures of reaching that destination make you beat yourself up. Like, oh, I haven't reached that destination yet. You'll never reach a destination because until it's time to go. So don't let don't put a time limit on yourself of like, oh, I'm 25, I should have this, and that. Or I'm 25, I should be here with my finances. You still have a journey. You need to be in the journey and enjoy the journey and moving. You need to figure out what at this level, I'm talking to me and I'm talking to you. You need to figure out what at this level of my journey can I soak up and enjoy? What tools can I pull out of this level of the journey? What experiences can I pull out of this level of the journey? What hobbies can I pick up? What can I do while I'm here? You get what I'm saying? What's something that I'll probably look back when I think about this time and be like, dang, I missed that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll miss the corner store around the street that you used to walk to while you were living in this neighborhood. Maybe you'll miss the guy that worked at the corner store who always had something good to say, some good conversation, or giving you some tips and advice on life. When you're in Hollywood Hidden Hills, you're not gonna have the bodega to go to chop it up with Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's something that you need to soak up and really live in. Number 3, don't take things personally. This is one of the more difficult things to adopt. It's hard to wrap your mind around that, especially when you're a few years younger than what I am now, because you just feel like, well, it was said to me, it was done to me, it affected me, and there was no regard for how it affected me on whoever or whatever happened on that other side. They did not care how it affected me, or they did it knowing how it would affect me. So why would I not take it personally? That is a personal attack. That is a personal, shot at me, right? But the older you get, you start to realize a lot of things people do, a lot of things people say, a lot of the moods that people throw at you, a lot of the ways that people act towards you are a reflection of themselves. Either how they feel about themselves overall, the day that they're having, what they were taught growing up, whatever the case may be. Say somebody walks in front of you, walks and stands in front of you at the grocery store, bend down, grab what they need, and just keep it moving. Without, you're standing right there looking directly at the sauces in the condiments aisle, and they come and stand right in front of you and grab a ranch and dip. Didn't look at you, didn't say excuse me, nothing. A while ago, I would have taken that personally. I would have taken that as personal disrespect. You don't see me. I'm literally, to me, that's flat out rude. That's some of the rudest stuff you can do to me. Not acknowledging somebody's presence, especially when you step directly in their eyesight and block it for whether it's 5 seconds or 30 seconds. It's disrespectful and it's rude. Regardless of my feelings on that, I had to realize that I can't take that personal. I might be offended, and in the right combination of the right setting, I might actually be like, excuse you, or depending on how disrespectful it is. But I had to learn that a lot of the times I just let it go, because it's I had to learn to stop taking it personally. Some people just were not raised to say excuse me. Some people just don't feel the need to do it because something is wrong with it. Truthful. Sometimes some people are just so in their head, and I have to put myself in other people's shoes. Sometimes people are so in their head, and they're in their mind, maybe even overthinking about something. They didn't even realize what they just did. And I know some of y'all may be like, no, you know what you did, Sometimes it's really not like that. I've done things, I've had instances with my parents where they're like, so you're not gonna say thank you? When they bought me something, or they've given me a gift, or they sent me some money or something, And I was so occupied in my mind that I genuinely just forgot to say thank you. Like I wasn't even present because I was so occupied in my mind. I'm like when they said, so you just not going, like they'll leave the floor open, they'll be like, so you just not going, and I'm like, not gonna what? Like I would be legitimately confused. But to them, they feel so disrespected because they're like, I just gave you $100, you know. And I'm talking about a few years ago when that was more common. But like I just gave you $100. That's, you're not gonna say, you don't have nothing to say to me, like thank you or something. And to me, it's not that I wasn't genuinely thankful, because I'm definitely thankful. Of course I'm thankful. Why wouldn't I be thankful? Whatever was going on in my mind at that time, I was so checked out that I did not realize I didn't say thank you. And sometimes we can feel some type of way and forget to express it, or not realize we're not expressing it or getting that point across, right? It's not always intentional. On to the next, number 4, drop your expectations of people. It'll lead to less disappointment. When you go into friendships and relationships, even with family, when you expect certain things out of them, you give them the opportunity to disappoint you. Nobody guaranteed you anything in life, guarantee you any type of reciprocation or anything like that in any type of relationship that you have. So when you take out most of your expectations on somebody, you take those out of the equation, it doesn't allow you to be as disappointed. Like if I have a friend where I'm always covering, you know, their bill when they don't have it, but they don't cover mine. The type of person I am, I don't even go into friendships expecting that anymore. Honestly, I'm going to be me regardless. Like I'm going to be me and do what my heart says do, which is, you know, lend a hand when needed, or when I see that one of my friends needs help. I'm going to do that regardless, because that's just who I am. Regardless of if they reciprocated or not, that's just who I am, and I've chosen to let that be that, right? I don't go into friendships expecting anything anymore. I don't go into friendships, I don't go out with my friends. I don't expect this stuff from family members, nobody. I don't expect you to reciprocate my energy in the same exact way anymore. And I know that because people are different, people have different ways of showing their appreciation for other people. Maybe I might feel like them not doing the exact same thing back for me is lack of reciprocation. But to them, they're like, I'm there for you as a friend in this way because I always give you advice when it comes to this, and that. I feel like that's what I'm pouring into you. Whereas, you know, your thing is you always got my back over here, while I always got your back over here. And it may not look exactly the same, but that's their form. And that's their form of reciprocation. That's their form of pouring into your cup like you're pouring into theirs, right? And that comes with learning that people are different. People are raised different. People come up differently. People have different perspectives and different opinions on life. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's a different individual. But like I said, once you take away those expectations, you now give room for people to just be them, right? Because expectations can also cause you to get frustrated sometimes by who somebody is genuinely, when their personality traits a lot of times aren't even a problem. You just had some type of expectancy that nobody told you to have. You went into a situation expecting a certain thing that nobody told you or guaranteed you would happen. But you went into it like that. Now you're frustrated and upset with the person, but the person never did anything wrong. And 9 times out of 10, if you're upset with them, they're confused as to why you're upset with them, because they're like, I thought we were cool. Like I'm just being me. I'm just doing what's going on here. But it's you that expected something, and now you're frustrated, and now they're confused, and now you feel like they're gaslighting you or something. It could turn into a whole multitude of things, but stop expecting stuff out of people, and it won't lead to disappointment. And I want to clarify, I don't want you to never expect to be respected. Definitely expect respect. Now, when your expectations aren't met when it comes to certain things, you need to learn how to adjust and pivot accordingly, and, you know, drop somebody like a bad habit if you need to. Stop fooling with somebody, cut somebody off, stop going to a certain place. Whatever you need to do it accordingly, but tone your expectations down so that you won't be as disappointed. You get what I'm saying? Start speaking on things immediately. If something bothers you, speak on it as soon as you possibly can. Don't wait, don't bottle it up, don't wait till it happens 17 more times and then explode. Speak on it when it happens and demand your respect. You know what I'm saying? Kind of put your foot down. I'm not saying incite violence or be a problem or bring negativity into a certain environment. But if you have a problem with something, you should speak on it as soon as possible, and so that it can be eradicated, so that it doesn't happen again, and then it doesn't leave more opportunity for everyone in the situation to feel some type of way, or at least you feel some type of way more and more and more. Then it's bottled up, and then it turns into anger and resentment, and then you explode, and then there's a worse situation than what could have been had you nipped it in the bud or brought it to everyone's attention to be eradicated from the get-go. Don't be scared to ruffle somebody's feathers at the expense of your own joy and comfortability. And definitely not at the expense of your respect. At some point, you have to put you first. You know what I'm saying? It's me or it's them. It's me making them uncomfortable and them having to deal with a little bit of an uncomfortable conversation, or it's my respect, my joy, my comfortability, right? They just gonna have to be uncomfortable for a little bit, for a second, for just a little conversation, so we can get this problem laid out on the table, figure out how to fix it, and then move on. Then everybody's good, right? That's better than you bottling things up at the sake of keeping them comfortable and not ruffling their feathers and shaking the table, you know what I'm saying? This is number 6. This is actually sort of a bonus. It's something I just wanted to add in. Understand that bad days don't exist. I don't think bad days exist. I think that what we should start calling bad days are days of transition. Bad days, if we change the wording and change the energy behind that, it makes these bad days less harsh and less hard, less difficult to deal with. If we change it to days of transition, it makes more sense as a puzzle piece in our big picture of life, right? On the journey, like every day is not gonna be roses and butterfly and sugar cookies, right? You're gonna have days where you don't feel so well, you don't feel so good, or you mentally just are drained and don't wanna do anything. I like to consider these days of transition, right? Because it's transitioning me and leveling me up to the next level, to the next moment. I'm learning something out of this moment. You know what I'm saying? Say you have a day where you feel like you failed and your business didn't succeed, or you didn't make the amount of sales, or you didn't make the amount of money you wanted to make this week, or you didn't make the amount of content you didn't want to make this week, and you just not feeling too good about it, right? And it kind of messes up your whole day, or you feel like it messes up your day, but in reality, it's more of a day of transition. And I say that because, yeah, you're not feeling good, but what did you take from that day? What did you learn from that day? You probably sat down all day and didn't do anything. Okay, you got some good rest in it. You learned something from it. You may feel like it's an L, you may feel like you failed, but I mean, as cliche as it sounds, we all know L is for lesson. L is not for lose, right? Like you as cliche and corny as it may sound, when you take an L, you really are learning something. You're learning from it. Like uploading videos to YouTube. I've uploaded so many videos to YouTube since high school, and I've taken the go at it so many times and taken quote unquote L's. I've learned so much from that. I've gained so much data from that I know how to approach this now, right? Even with music, like there's been times where I've sat down to make a beat or something, and like I got into my head and it just became frustrating. Things just were not lining up the way I wanted it to, and it pissed me off, and I just was done with it for a minute, right? But in all honesty, when I came back, I realized, oh, I learned how to do this instead, or I learned that type of sound or that type of machine or whatever case maybe does not work with this and that. So now I got to figure out what to go buy to be compatible with this program, right? That's the transition part. It's transitioning you from this level of knowledge to that level of knowledge. It's transitioning you from this spiritual level to that spiritual level. You feel like you went through a bad month or two where things were just not working out. That was a time period of transition. Because there's no way for you to come out on the other side of that time period, whether it's a day, whether it's a couple of months. There's no way for you to come out on that other side without being changed in a good way, without being elevated some way, somehow. You either gained, whether it's just a small bit of knowledge or a lot of it, you either gained some knowledge in that time period, you gained some strength, or you gained some endurance, or many of other things you could have gained. But there's no way you're coming out on that side the same person. There's no way you're coming out on the other side as less of a person. The only thing that can happen when going through hardships is growth. Like they say, pressure makes diamonds. It's cliche. You may think it's corny. They say it all the time. By they, I mean every damn body. But it's the truth. Throughout that tough period, that pressure period, you become a diamond or closer to being a diamond, right? Every moment like that, you end up better. That's why it's a day of transition. That's what I say. And even looking at it as a day of transition and not a bad day even allows you to, in that day of transition, feel even better than what you would have if you would have considered it a bad day or considered it everything going wrong, right? I wanted to share that with y'all because I feel like when I first heard that, it honestly changed. It changed a lot about my life. Like it changed a whole lot. Like it pretty much changed my life. Not to be dramatic, but it did. Like when you look at it as a moment of transition instead of a bad moment, you tend to feel more gratitude. You tend to feel more grateful for what's happening. You tend to understand it better, you tend to see that on the horizon is greater and better. That's what I like about that. Like it really does change. And I'm not saying I don't have days where like I'm like, forget all of this, I'm upset, this is not going right. But what keeps me from going all the way to rock bottom is me reminding myself, oh yeah, this is what life comes with. It's peaks and valleys. You gotta ride the waves and roll with the punches. That's my favorite phrase. That's what, like, that was my Twitter bio for a minute. Like, you have to ride the waves and roll with the punches. My mom used to say that to me. She still says it to me every once in a while. But there was one time where I was really going through it, and she said that to me, and that for some reason that time it really just resonated real deep. Like, it made so much more sense that time. Like, I've heard her say it before, but it just hit different. It hit different that time for real. Like, ever since then, I've been like, no, ride the waves and roll with the punches. Like, you literally have to do that in life, because life is never a plateau. A lot of people run through life chasing this plateau, chasing this moment where everything will be perfect and nothing will be going wrong and everything will be in the right place. All my money will be perfectly fine and my bank account will be stacked and I'll have the house and nobody will be sick, nobody will have any health issues, nothing will go wrong, everything will be perfect. Everybody's chasing that perfect plateau, and it doesn't exist. Life is the way life is. Life would not be life if there was nothing to throw us off or go wrong or what we perceive to be wrong. It wouldn't be life. Life is full of peaks and valleys, right? And that's why when my mom said, ride the waves and roll with the punches, when them waves come, ride them waves out. And by waves, I mean the good moments, right? The moments where everything's going right, or you got that thing you finally wanted, or you were successful with your business, or whatever the case may be. Ride that out until the wave don't exist no more. But when that wave dies down and you start to hit a slight plateau, and maybe you get hit with a punch, you get hit with a jab a little bit, you roll with that jab. You roll with the punches, you fight back. You get up and you keep going, right? And the more you roll with them punches, you realize the punches don't even hurt that bad. The punches ain't hitting that hard. And you realize you can actually still enjoy life through the punches. You can still enjoy life while you're rolling with the punches. You know, if the punches is here, that means a wave is on the way. If I'm in the valley, some may perceive as darkness, I'm in the valley. Well, I mean, if life is full of peaks and valleys, then it's a peak on the way, right? Like, if I'm in the valley, then it gotta be a peak coming up. So that allows you to soften how you may feel in the valley, but it also allows you to enjoy the valley. Just because life is full of ups and downs doesn't mean you can't enjoy the down. You get what I'm saying? And I sound like I'm preaching, but I'm dead serious. Just because life is full of ups and downs does not mean you can't enjoy the down. You can find things to enjoy. You can find a way to keep going in the down. I think I have another thing to say, sort of another bonus. Gratitude will help you understand that everything is okay. Like, if you just sit and you think about what you're truly grateful for in this moment, and what you're happy that you have, happy that God allowed you to have and or experience. And, you know, maybe it's, I'm grateful my mom is healthy and she's here to give me advice and guide me when I go wrong. Even though I'm an adult, I still appreciate my parents' guidance. My dad, when he gives me financial advice, like, you know, maybe it's that. Maybe you're grateful for the fact, you know, the very simple, you know, essentials in life. You know, I got a roof over my head. I got money to put gas in my car. I got money to pay my car note. You know what I'm saying? I can get from point A to point B, get to my job, make my money to, you know, do what I need to do in life to fund my dreams. Maybe you're thankful for what you think may be the simple things in life that are right here at your disposal. Practicing that gratitude and acknowledging and recognizing what you're really grateful for, that's immediately around you and immediately happening in your life right now today, it makes you realize, damn, life is good. Life is not bad. Life is, this valley isn't as bad as I thought it was. Like, I'm actually enjoying some of this. You may find that you may actually truly be happy. You might even be really happy right now and not know it, because you're so distracted by focusing on the future, which is causing mad anxiety, and not living in the now. And that's another thing I want to say. Live in the now. Living in the now will honestly and truly help with your mental health, because if you deal with anxiety, 9 times out of 10, it comes from you focusing on the future. You're focusing on the future and you're planning for the future. Your mind's always on what's next. But the thing is, once you reach the future, it's going to be your now. You're going to be in it. It's going to be your now. And you're not going to be focused on it because you're going to be worrying about the next now, which is the future. So your best bet is to worry about the now and live in the now and soak it up, because one, it's going to increase your memory and you're going to increase your joy, because you're going to be here soaking up what's here at this level that you're at, what you're in right now, this stage of your life, you're going to be soaking that up. So once you get to the future and you look back, you're going to be able to remember, oh, that was a great time in my life. Even if you feel like you don't have it all, you're not where you want to be, you're going to remember that was such a good time, right? Honestly, man, don't be afraid to seek out some assistance with your mental health. Life is not easy. It can be very difficult sometimes for a lot of people. Don't be afraid to go seek out assistance. Don't be afraid to go get a therapist. Don't be afraid to go get a psychiatrist. Don't be afraid to go to the doctor. Don't be afraid to get prescribed medicine. Don't be afraid of these things. You get what I'm saying? Medication is a beautiful thing. If there's anything out there that can help you with what you're dealing with mentally, you need to use it. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people feel like I don't want to have to depend on some pill or some medication to keep me sane or keep me feeling okay. But it's like, maybe that's just what it is, and you have your own journey of accepting that. But I think that, like, if you switch your perspective on it and understand that it's a blessing that God even gave us the ability, or some of us, scientists and doctors and stuff like that, the ability of these things, these machines and whatever the case may be, to figure out what works for certain mental health issues and whatnot, right? Your mental health is really important to your life. Like, I know some people may be putting their mental health on the back burner, trying to brush it to the side and go hard and push through for as long as they can before they have to go do something about their mental health, or they brush stuff under the rug. I think you should really tend to your mental health. This is just 5 things plus like 3 more that I wanted to share with y'all, the ways that I improved my mental health and things that I feel like y'all could use if y'all haven't done these things already. That's all I want to do, is help other people, man. So if I could share a little bit of something with y'all that may even change y'all's lives or change y'all's day or whatever the case may be, then I want to do that. I really am thankful that y'all have watched this far. I hope that you can apply some of these things to your life, because once your mental health is right, then so many other things will be right. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Tell me your mental health journey and things that you do to improve your mental health in the comment section below. I will see you on the next video. Follow me on my socials in the description box below. If you want to see me on a daily basis and you like these type of conversations and discussions, go ahead and take a look at Loft Talks and watch some of those episodes. It's a 5-day-a-week series on my channel where I'm always talking about something, random thoughts, my opinion, on certain things and what's going on in the world. So go ahead and tune into that. Until next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.